Good morning, welcome back to another video, and today is another day of the Zero to Gold Cap Challenge. Now just stick around and enjoy the video. Okay, so today we are going to do something a little bit different, and that is WorthIT. WorthIT's latest update is coming in with a load of new different types of features, and what I want to do is overview them in this video. So without that further ado, let's get into the breakdown. Okay, so with the release of the latest version of WorthIT, we have a load of new different types of features coming in. Now, the first one on our list is the custom farms, or My Farms. Now, this is located in the tab section, which is under My Farms, and this brings you up to a nice little area in which you can actually create your own custom farms, so to speak. This gives you the ability to actually record a farm in what you're actually doing, and we'll get over that in a minute. What it does is it takes the values from your own farming and then values it with a gold per hour, as you can set your location, and so can produce you with a sell rate upon your actual farm. So you could do something that's not in the WorthIT add-on and still be able to gather. So for instance, I actually did the Visual Hill farm, the multi-farm for mining and herbalism, and gathered up a load of this different types of stuff within the hour. Now, this actually bungs me out with a gold per hour for this, and I can actually see what loot am I likely to get from this. Now, this is something for more gold guide makers or anyone who actually avidly does gold farming. They can now produce this onto their own custom farms or My Farms in the WorthIT add-on. Now, along with this, we also have a recorder built in, and this is coming in for our second new feature to go into My Farms. Now, you press the recorder button in My Farms, and it somewhat works like the way Loot Appraiser does. Now, this one doesn't actually do a gold per hour for the actual thing, so Loot Appraiser is still doing its same thing. Seriously, Loot Appraiser is still pretty damn awesome and all that jazz. This is mainly specifically catered to the recording of your farm, so you could run this alongside the Loot Appraiser if you wanted to, so you can do how much you're actually going to get for your standard stuff, and we could place them like here or anywhere really on the map, and you can record and then assess your things. And what actually is going on here is you can record a farm, and then once you've done that, you can either pause or resume the actual farm for the hour. You can reset it by holding the shift button and clicking reset the session, and reset all instances button if you're farming a dungeon or a raid. Now, with that being said, once you have got your desired time for your hour of farming, you can then just press the next tab, which is the editor, and it brings it up to the next part of the recorder. This is where you're able to edit your different type of farm that you've just recorded. So we can adjust the minutes back down to 60 minutes, press OK, and it's now at 60 minutes for that duration of that farm. This has recorded everything that you have actually farmed up within that hour. This is obviously the Visual Hill farm, and I can name the farm as such. So I've said Visual Hill multi-farm, and that this is the alpha test for 3.0.5 for WorthIT. So that being the case, I can now edit stuff. I can then remove stuff from this log as well. And I can also add an item by clicking it. So if I had a random item in my bags, I can then drag them over, hold it down, and then drop it into this section here, and it will log it as well in here. And you can adjust the values as you wish as well for this farm. Now, that being the case, once you've actually set all of that, you can also set your location. So obviously it will automatically do it where you actually are, but if you wanted to change it, so to speak, you can. You can set your current location for this as well, and then just move on. You can move over to different types of items and all that stuff, and the location. So I can set my current location where I am for that, and then that is basically the editor. Once you've actually done that, changed the values or removed grey items from those farms or anything, you can then save that, and it will also log your raw gold. So raw gold farmers, you can now log your WorthIT raw gold farms for worth it, so to speak. So you can keep track of which ones are the best for you when you're actually going to do that, and then make an informed decision about whether you should keep running that or not. Now, this brings into the next feature of My Farms, which is a part of the recorder and My Farms as well. So what we'll do is we'll bring up WorthIT over here, and we will come over to this part here. This is the import and export tab within the recorder. Now, you have to have the current farm selected, so when you're actually editing it. So say you wanted to import or export one of your farms. Now, this new functionality for this will actually hopefully be something a lot better. So if I wanted to do the Highmore Raw Gold farm or the Visual Hill farm, I can just go over here and press edit, and it will bring it up in the recorder. And then all I have to do is move over to import and export and just press one of the buttons of what I'm actually doing. Now for export, all I have to do, because it's already selected, I just press export, and it produces me with a load of code, much like TSM. And all I have to do then is make sure that it's selected, copy it, and then paste it into a paste bin or on a Discord, and then others can copy that and then import it in this way as well. If you wanted to import something into WorthIT, you just go into the recorder, you go over here, and then then all you do is press import, you paste whatever the code is in here and press import, and it will import the farm in which you're importing, and then it will show up in your My Farms. Now, this is originally designed so gold guides, people who make gold guides like ourselves or myself, I can now share the actual WorthIT log for this. So I can do a recorder for a gold farm that isn't on the WorthIT add-on, and I can just give you the code to import it to see if it's worth it on your realm. This will give you a bigger chance of knowing if the farm is actually suitable for yourself, and hopefully this will stop a load of confusion when it comes to gold farming in general for just standardized things. So another gold maker such as we'll take Student for instance, he does a guide on Primal Fire and he records it using the recorder. He can now export that code and then post it in his description. You guys can then copy that, post it into your WorthIT add-on and see if it's worth it for yourself. So that being the case, that is pretty damn good. I'm so happy this is working right now. I've been wanting to add this functionality in for a little while, and to be honest, I can't actually take most of the credit for this, thanks to Callan, who did pretty much a lot of the work on this actual latest build. So thank you very much, Callan, for that. You are definitely a valued person of WorthIT. Moving along with that, we do have some more different types of features along with this. We also have a new feature for our WorthIT add-on, and that is the notable items feature. Now, if you go down to transmog, you can now look at notable items for your transmog farm. Now, notable items can be anything alongside this, and I could press Black Fathom Deeps, and it tells me 103,000 gold for the hour on this, but I can also see notable items within the actual dungeon as well that actually can be farmed up. This could go the same as Alderman with like the Miner's Hat of the Deep, obviously not scanned because it's like never around, but you've got things like the Papal Fairs. You can see what items are that you can possibly get from all of the different types of classic dungeons. So it gives you a bit more of a wider variety on what you're actually trying to farm up through transmog. Moving along with that, the expandable tabs such as the notable items, this is now implemented in all different features. So if we can do the Saronite ore farm, it will actually go 20,000 gold per hour for myself. I can then open up the tab on any of the farms in the add-on, and it will give you an average on what you are likely to get throughout that farm. So it will say, for Saronite ore, I'm roughly going to get myself around about 425 Saronite ore, 31 titanium ore, 3 eternal waters, 2 eternal airs, and 15 eternal earth, 2 eternal fire, and a load of different types of gems. So it gives you a better overview on what you're actually going to be farming up, and this goes for all of them, so to speak. So you'll see that 104 albino cavefish within the hour for Deep Home And it does it for all of these. All of them have the same thing. So Volatile Life is the Whiptail farm, or Volatile Water 306 per hour. And it just gives you a bit more of a clearer ideology on how much you're actually going to be farming up, how much you're likely going to be getting in that farm for the hour, and then you can weigh the pros and cons just a little bit better for yourself when you're using the add-on. Now, moving on with this, we do have some configuration stuff, so let's move over to configuration, and we will start off with the recorder. Now, the recorder for the recording your My Farms or custom farms, you can now set the min item value for this. I've set mine at 0 because I was doing some low-end farming earlier. And you can now set what you want it to log, much like the bag value add-on part of the configuration. So I can then say I only want it to pick up the green items, not the common or the poor. I can select that. And the min item value, so if it's under a certain gold amount, it will just exclude that from the recorder. So you can now better do transmog farms and record those. You can then do all of that type of stuff moving forward. There has been a few changes when it comes to bug fixes, and that is your value adjustments. Now, value adjustments seem to be something with WorthIT, as it will pop up sometimes if you use your configuration for your WorthIT add-on. I've set mine to DB min buyout, and when you used to go over to transmog at this moment, if you haven't updated, it will sometimes come up with cannot find the item's price. This has been completely fixed. What it actually does now is that if it cannot find the min buyout of a notable item for the farm, it will then go to the next pricing source that actually has a value. So if it has a DB market value but doesn't have a min buyout, it will use that value within the gold per hour for all of the transmog farming adjustments. This means that you will always have a gold per hour number moving on to this, and you won't get any errors with the add-on going forward when it comes to pricing sources. This will make it so much more better for yourself, and overall will make it a lot more easier in order to use this add-on. Now, one thing's of note, which is a note that I would like to just specify, and Callan has asked me to tell everyone as well, and that is caged pets are not supported on the recorder nor on WorthIT overall at the moment. We are working on this, but if you are going to do a battle pet farm, it will only log when you've looted it, not once you've caged it. So caged pets will not have a value if you add this into the recorder. It will not give you any gold per hour for that particular pet. So just bear that one in mind. We are working on that, and obviously it will come out at some point once we've managed to figure out how we're going to value these caged pets. Other than that, guys, if you do have any questions or have any problems when it comes to WorthIT, you can always go over to the Discord, where we have a support section where all of us are pretty much online. Overall, if you do have any questions or thoughts, please put them in the Discord and I will be happy to answer any of them for you. Now, aside from that, I would like to say thank you very much, Callum, for all of your hard work. Obviously, I started this WorthIT off with just myself, and now it's expanded to a couple of people actually doing certain things. So I'd like to introduce, obviously we know Callan. Callan's been working with me for quite a while on the WorthIT add-on and doing a lot more functionality. So obviously we are the WorthIT dev team at this moment in time, but we've also enlisted the help of a couple of bug testers, which is Rhaegar and Mr. Fish. They will be part of the WorthIT development team for testing purposes, and they will be looking for certain specific types of bugs within the add-on. And that, guys, that's pretty much all I have to say for the new features of this add-on. Now let's move over towards the gold for the day. Okay, so the gold for the day is 263,076 gold. The things of note is a superior battle potion of intellect, 20 of those for 5,644 gold. Along with that is 30 abyssal healing potions for 1,568 gold, and 40 more Abyssal Healing Potions for 2,091 gold. Other things are the Greater Flask of Endless Fathoms, 6,686 gold, and a Greater Flask of the Undertow, 6 of those for 4,473 gold. Other things additionally of note is another load of Abyssal Healing Potions for 83 of those for 4,339 gold, and a load more flasks of the Endless Fathoms, 8 of those for 5,943 gold. Going down on our list, we sold a load of Panther mounts. Someone was resetting the auction house, and I'm probably not going to be crafting any more Panther mounts at this moment in time, as the value is dropping quite considerably due to the latest patch in 8.3. Everyone is basically in the Vale of Eternal Blossoms, and Spirits of Harmony have dropped dramatically in price, so probably we'll just keep the actual gold on that and just double down on what's working, which is Alchemy and Inscription. But 22,609 gold, 22,560 gold, and 22,608 gold respectively for my Panther mounts. Now, aside from all of that, we sold quite a lot of those, so we got back quite a bit of gold. And along with this, we also sold an Uncanny Satin Cloak for 1,384 gold, and 168 Veiled Crystals for 19,573 gold. This brings it up to 263,076 gold. So let's pull in all of this gold to a nice healthy amount for the actual day. Now, the things of note that are actually working is the Inscription, Cooking, and Alchemy at this moment in time, using the Silas proc at this moment in time as well. Now, I had a few issues with TSM with actually working out how to use Alchemy. Yeah, no, I actually struggled with something. Thank you very much. I am QQQing on my Discord. You were very helpful in your explanation last night about how I can actually go about making some gold using some of your TSM structures for that and creating a decent amount of gold. And since implementing your actual methodology towards crafting alchemy, they've actually started flying like hotcakes off of the auction house, so I'll be doubling down on those because they're going to be pulling me a hell of a lot of profit moving forward. Now, aside from that, guys, that's pretty much all I have to say for the day. I'm going to get on to my reputations because I need my flying, because I intend to do some more farming. Aside from that, guys, have an awesome rest of the day, and I shall see you tomorrow.